Thing working. I'll let some people get in here. Oh, not too loud. Let some people get in here. Yeah, I think I'm live. They want to come in and pray? Are they hiding me in the arithmetic? I don't see anybody in here yet. I don't think they're going to let me get out there and keep me hidden in the arithmetic. I don't see me. Too late for everybody? Everybody in bed? Alright. Alright, well, I waited for everybody to come in. I don't see anybody. Let me get started.
Hezbollah reportedly ordered around 5,000 pagers from Taiwan, a country known for producing about 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. These pagers were destined for Lebanon. However, what makes this story particularly intriguing is what allegedly happened during the shipment process. At some point along the way, a spy agency is believed to have intercepted the shipment and tampered with the pagers. They discreetly altered the internal components, replacing one of the two identical batteries with a hidden explosive device. This modification was done so subtly that it went unnoticed. Once the changes were made, the altered pagers were quietly sent back to Hezbollah as if nothing had happened. To help you understand better about the explosive pager, let's take a look at how it works. At its core, the battery powers the entire device. This is the speaker and emits audio alerts to notify the user of incoming messages. The motor adds a physical vibration alert, making the pager effective in silent mode. The radio antenna coil receives wireless signals like VHS, and the microprocessor converts these signals into readable messages. In short, these are often low-tech and difficult to track. Inside a typical pager, you'll notice these components working together, particularly the batteries which power the device. Now, let's consider a hypothetical scenario. Imagine you're looking at two identical batteries inside the pager. Although this is speculative, if it were part of a spy agency, we might consider disguising one of the two identical batteries for a different purpose. One battery would provide the necessary power for the device, while the other could potentially serve as an explosive cleverly concealed within the pager. To expand on this theory, an alkaline AA battery weighs approximately 23 grams. Interestingly, reports in the news have mentioned that an explosive weighing about 20 grams was detonated. This similarity in weight lends some plausibility to the idea that a battery could be used as a disguised explosive device. We believe there was a timer for triggering this explosive that can disable or unalive an adult if placed at the correct time. 2,750 were injured, which cannot be a coincidence. In one instance, a pager explosion occurred at a grocery store, and a small handheld device, seemingly just another pager, was carried by a possible Hezbollah operative. It unexpectedly detonated, causing injuries to the user. The explosion, though localized, inflicted harm and sowed fear among those present. This raises the question, why did Hezbollah begin using pagers instead of simple mobile phones? Well, it all started with the Farid Shikr bombings, better explained in the video ahead, after the October 7 attack and the Druza football field missile incident. The Israeli spy agency started planning the assassination of Fuad Shukr. They did this by hacking into the mobile network of the Hezbollah military commanders. Let's delve into the details of how this assassination unfolded. Southern Beirut, Lebanon serves as a stronghold for Hezbollah, where Fuad Shukr resided in a fortified 7-story building. This building was not only his home, but also served as a base of operations, with his office strategically located on the 2nd floor, allowing him to oversee and coordinate critical military activities. On the day of the assassination, Fuad Shukr was working in his office, likely engaged in the planning and communication that were vital to Hezbollah's operations. Unbeknownst to him, Israeli intelligence was closely monitoring his movements and communications. According to reports, Israeli intelligence managed to intercept a Hezbollah phone call, which played a crucial role in the assassination plot. The intercepted call was manipulated to deliver a false directive, instructing Fuad Shukr to return to his residence on the top floor of the same building. The urgency of the message was designed to make the commander believe it was a matter of immediate importance. This clever ruse was a deliberate attempt to isolate Fuad Shukr in a specific location, ensuring that the strike would be as effective as possible. The plan succeeded as soon as confirmation was received that the commander had entered his 7th floor apartment. The final phase of the operation was set into motion. An aircraft, possibly an F-16, was dispatched to carry out the precision strike. Equipped with a laser-guided bomb, similar to the highly advanced Spice weapon, the aircraft locked onto the target. The free-fall guided weapon, traveled with pinpoint accuracy, was released and struck the building with devastating force, causing a massive explosion that obliterated the 7th floor and claimed the life of Fuad Shukr, injured a couple of residents living in it. But this doesn't even compare to the mystery of this assassination in the Iranian guest house. Who did it and how was it done? We will present you with 3 scenarios and let you, the audience, decide. One involves a bomb being planted in all 3 rooms and blew up possibly by a remote control. The second scenario describes alleged Mossad operative waiting until around 2 a.m. to launch a short-range missile as part of the offensive. The third scenario involves using a stealth jet to hit the target. All these in the video ahead, so don't miss a beat.
Nothing beats living in the moment, but sometimes the unexpected happens. And suddenly everything that can go wrong does go wrong. But on the plus side, when the unexpected happens on the road, AAA will be there for you, for a dead battery, a flat.
Sorry, guys.
But first, let's examine the surroundings. This is a 5-story guest house located in the northern part of Iran. The guest house is situated near the Sadabad complex and is surrounded by mountainous regions. It is also open on all sides. This building has around 5 to 6 floors with different rooms on each level. For now, we'll focus on a particular room on the western side of the building. Let's look at scenario 1. Ismail Haniyeh, a senior leader of Hamas, was assassinated by an explosive device covertly smuggled into the Tehran guest house where he was staying. This account is according to 7 Middle Eastern officials, including 2 Iranians and an American official. It's important to note that this is one of the most heavily guarded areas in Iran, under the protection of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. For alleged Mossad operatives to infiltrate this protected area where the streets were thoroughly secured was one of the most daring and well-planned maneuvers they could undertake. From this top angle, we can see Haniyeh's car entering this part of the building. He stayed in this section of the guest house, probably in this specific portion, which has been reported to be his favorite area whenever he visits Iran. This is the tricky part. According to several reports, the bomb was planted 2 months ago, allegedly by operatives possibly either Iranian or Mossad. Let's consider C4 as the explosive used in this case. It typically consists of a remote controller and a main warhead. which is composed of explosives, a plastic binder, a plasticizer to make it malleable, and usually a marker or odorizing tagging chemical. Although small C4 can destroy a room with a blast radius of around 4 to 20 feet. Here's how it might have worked. The agents, as suggested, placed the bomb in all 3 rooms 2 months ago. Then, when the time was right, it returned to the desired area near the mountain and activated the explosive from a safe distance by hitting the switch, taking out Hania and his bodyguard, along with the destruction of this part of the room. Let's take a look at scenario 2. There were reports from some witnesses that an object was seen flying from the mountainous region and exploded late at night. The object we're talking is this spike-long, range, multi-purpose anti-tank missile system is designed to engage modern armored vehicles, double reinforced fortifications, and enemy personnel at any time of day and in difficult weather conditions. This missile has a range of 200 meters to 4 kilometers, which is well below the guest house. Here are the various parts of the missile. The homing head of the missile, known as the Spike ER, is located in the nose section. Behind it, there is an electronics unit and a leading charge of the cumulative warhead, followed by the main engine. In the central part of the missile's hull, there is a gyroscope and an accumulator battery, the main charge of the warhead with a safety and arming mechanism and a fuse. The folding steering fins open as soon as they are out of the launcher. Steering drives, launch engine, and fiber optic cable reel are located in the missile's tail section. This is how it might have happened. Around 2 a.m., approximately 2 operatives began moving closer to the building, staying within a range of around 2.4 miles, which is around 4 kilometers. Once in position, the assassin or alleged Mossad operative activated the missile system. They used thermal imaging to see in the dark and guided the missile through an optical wire. This technology allowed the operator to precisely control the missile's trajectory, even in low visibility conditions. The view from the scope likely provided the operative with a clear visual of the target, guiding the missile towards its destination. The missile, as described, has 2 warheads. A precursor warhead at the front and the main warhead at the rear. The precursor warhead is designed to penetrate reinforced structures, such as double-layered concrete walls. Upon breaching the initial barrier, the main warhead then detonates inside the room, causing significant damage. The power and impact of the missile could have potentially destroyed 3 rooms in the guest house. It's important to note that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard reported that a short-range projectile weighing 7 kilograms was launched from outside the compound, consistent with the described attack. This information aligns with the possibility of an external assault using a missile system like the Spike. And the final third scenario involves using a stealth fighter jet like the F-35. However, Iran's air defense forces include the S-300, a Russian long-range surface-to-air missile defense system. Iran purchased the S-300 from Russia in late 2016 for $800 million. Given this, I doubt Israel would risk a $100 million aircraft for a single target, such as this guest house in Tehran, especially considering the potential for being targeted from every angle. Therefore, what I think is happening is that a short-range missile like this one might be used instead. But in the fog of war, any one of these could be a possibility. We also make original engineering content, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos.
Okay, guys. So, this is what we're going to be talking about. Do you buy the real story? Are you buying the story they're giving us? I'm not buying it. One bit. Some of it. Maybe a little bit of it. Just a tiny bit. That makes sense. Just a little bit. So, I guess I'll let you watch a little bit of this first. I got some explaining to do. It's coming. I'm not here to sit idle and quiet. So most of you guys understand that Israel has the best technology. That's where all the technology is being developed, explored, used, and sold to the rest of the world. Well, not the whole world. A good chunk of the world. And yeah, the Mossad, there's some badasses for sure. Mossad, they're really good. I mean, there's stuff that we'll never hear about that they do. They're better than MI5, MI6, and all those guys. And probably real close to the CIA as far as operational statuses. CIA is pretty good, so they poisoned toothpaste. Okay, a little kid could get a hold of that. I don't think that was a very smart choice. Doctors discovered the toothpaste, huh? The death was slowly painful. Mossad was to blame. Remote-controlled machine guns smuggled into Iran piece by piece. Assassination of the arms supplier. Something kill this light. Sorry guys, this light's coming bright on the TV. So yeah, YouTube's hiding me. I've been on for 17 minutes. YouTube hasn't put me out there for anybody to see. So I'm hidden in the arithmetic. The YouTube YouTube.
If you like this video,
I don't know how they say that, but they don't like too many people to get out to the world. They like to keep everybody hidden. So it makes it real hard for people to start off on YouTube. I already knew this. This is kind of a practice run. I got some stuff I want to get out, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more of this on there. Hopefully let somebody come in here. Somebody can find me somehow.
Be sure to check out the full-length video.
Good old YouTube.
in the neighborhood, every delivery is a treat.
One pistachio.
In the neighborhood. Sorry about the commercials, guys. We're kind of winging it today.
On Tuesday afternoon, thousands of pagers issued to Hezbollah operatives all across Lebanon exploded, killing at least a dozen people and hospitalizing more than 3,000 others. And on Wednesday morning, Lebanese media reports indicate that hundreds of Hezbollah walkie-talkies and handheld radios have exploded in a very similar fashion, begging the question, what is going on? And while Israel has not claimed responsibility for these attacks, there seems to be little Israel is indeed behind them, or maybe more specifically, Israel's covert intelligence agency, the Mossad. But how exactly did Israel manage to stick explosives into thousands of electronic devices destined for a known terrorist organization? And what's going to happen now? That's what I've spent the past 12 hours trying to hash out. So let's dive into what we know and what we don't about this pager attack. I'm Alex Hollings, and this
I don't see no
is a
reason
very
to
short
do what they're
Tuesday
doing,
edition
so I'm just
of
going to show
Fire
you
Topics.
guys a little bit of what's going on in case you didn't know. And then I'll... Come on, guys.
covering a story and which ones are giving it the silent treatment. And when you drill down into
That's what
individual
YouTube's
outlets,
doing to
ground
me,
news will
giving
give
me
you
the
their
silent treatment.
factuality rating based
Come
on
on,
the
guys, it's
individual
Johnny
assessments of
That's
3
my real
separate
name.
news monitoring organizations. They'll even tell you who owns an outlet in case you're concerned that could influence their coverage. Here's a great example and a story I wanted to share with you anyway about legendary F-16 pilot and now Lieutenant General Mark Sassville retiring. Now, Sass, you may recall, was one of 2 pilots alongside Heather Lucky Penny, who scrambled their F-16s on the morning of September 11th.
I don't know. I think I hit the wrong video here. I was trying to get some of this
with a switch
pager
embedded
stuff
to trigger a detonation upon receiving a specific signal. This allowed Israeli forces to specifically target Hezbollah operatives who had been issued pagers by the terrorist organization. This attack proved particularly effective because Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, issued...
Okay, so been 20 minutes. Time for me to talk. So what I'm doing here right now is kind of filling you in on what's going on. Lebanon just got hit by a major attack from Israel. And pretty smooth shit in a way. It's also pretty resilient. I can't talk. Pretty resilient. It reveals a lot. How's that? Okay, I'm a little upset right now. YouTube's been hiding me in here, and they don't want me out. But we're gonna beat that eventually. And if you like me, or you want to see more of me, like and subscribe, and build me up, guys. And I'll come out and put all kinds of stuff for you guys to see on here. A lot of me. But so yeah, Israel used a bunch of pagers supposedly, and they put some shape charges inside the batteries supposedly, and boom boom. Okay, that's the story. But I found out that car batteries blew up, cell phones blew up, like 3 cell phone stores blew up. Yeah. So agents of chaos. So at the same time in an attack, what you do is you would have some bombs blow up. You would have some assassinations, some whatever you're trying to hide, you'd have a cover for it, is what I'm trying to say. And that cover for Israel right now in this attack is they made a bunch of shape charges and put them in the batteries of these devices. But let's go down the list. We got walkie-talkies, pagers, car batteries. Guys on the ground said car batteries blew up. We got cell phone stores. Okay, a couple cell phone stores, and then number 5, we got solar panels. Stuff to do with solar panels. Okay, so there's 5 things right there. Oh, also we had some tablets, GoPro batteries blow up, and I think they said some laptops. So there's a bunch of devices basically that were just all of a sudden blowing up everywhere. Now, Israel somehow got all those batteries before it got to the terrorists, or whatever you want to call them. We're not sure exactly if they're even terrorists that were killed yet, 100%, maybe a couple of them. But over 3,000 people were injured in this attack. I think they said 14 dead, something like that altogether, and a bunch in critical condition. So, think this one real hard. Think on this one really hard. Israel got a hold of all these batteries, replaced the batteries. I mean, we're talking thin batteries, like this is an old cell phone battery right here. So they either got some of these batteries and they replaced them with shape charges, and batteries actually work with the shape charge in it. So they either did that or And here's the kicker. Or every one of these batteries are dangerous if you heat them up, which we already know that, looking at Chinese cars and Chinese scooters and Chinese bicycles and Chinese hoverboards. Them batteries just catch fire and they blow up, and they're actually really, really flammable. Really flammable. And then you look at these batteries, like right here, these batteries, does that not look like it was a bomb that blew up? Yeah. So, okay, so let's say they put little C4 or little shape charges in them. Now, how in the hell do you get that to all your enemies? You know, there's something missing here, and that's what I'm trying to get at. What's missing is, we'll go to this real quick. What's missing, guys? Let me show you what's missing. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? So I put a few things on here to we're gonna get to.
P solo.
Okay, so remember the Havana syndrome? CIA complained that they got hit by a microwave weapon. Okay, remember the microwave weapons, right?
Their symptoms
Savannah
included
syndrome.
headaches, nausea, bloody noses, and mild brain injury.
Fill it in.
Many reported hearing grating-like noises or sudden pressure and vibrations.
I was falling over in my room. I thought I was going to vomit. I was incredibly nauseous. I had this incredible ringing in my ears, and I knew something was really wrong with me.
The U.S. officials
Savannah
affected by Havana syndrome include
syndrome.
U.S. diplomats, spies, and military intelligence officials who were on overseas assignments. Pentagon has now launched its own inquiry into the suspected microwave attack on U.S. troops in the Middle East. CIA was perplexed what caused debilitating afflictions. New York Times reported that the three officials from the Central Intelligence Agency had reported serious symptoms since December 2020, requiring treatment at the Walter Reed Military Hospital in Washington. According to a report in
bad
America,
video. So anyway, Savannah syndrome, okay? Savannah syndrome.
Senators packed the LA County
Here.
Board of Supervisors meeting
Fine.
today to protest giant cell towers at their stations. CBS 2's Dave Lopez shows us why they have serious concerns.
Oh,
This is a step.
sorry, guys. That's the cell towers. We're getting to that. I'm trying to show you something that's pretty damn important. You know, here you go.
This is a military area. Move away from the perimeter. I say again, this is a military area. Move away from the perimeter.
Remember this? Okay, this is supposedly what Savannah syndrome is. It's a weapon that they pointed at you. It's a microwave weapon. They pointed at you and you start heating up. Start getting really hot. It's so hot you cannot stand it and you will run from it immediately, just like these guys are about to do. See? They just ran immediately. That there's a microwave weapon. Now, this is what they'll show you they have. They'll show you they use it. Okay. What they're not showing you on this is when they did this test here, this little show for the audience, for us, they left something out. You couldn't have a cell phone in your pocket when they were heating you up. Because if you did, the cell phone would have blew up.
Building your online business?
So if the cell phone would have blew up if it was in their pocket when they pointed that microwave weapon at it, well, there's a hint. Is it not a hint? I'd say it's a hint. So here's a little bit more. A little bit more.
The Air Force Research Laboratory, AFRL, has countered the emerging threat of drone swarms, using the Tactical High Power Operational Responder, THOR, to take out multiple targets.
Thor.
As the ongoing conflict in Ukraine has painfully demonstrated, drones are becoming a mainstay in modern warfare, not just for reconnaissance or isolated missile attacks, but as offensive weapons in sustained campaigns. Worse, the shadow on the horizon is the day when technology has advanced to the point where drones can attack in organized swarms in such numbers as to overwhelm conventional air defenses. There are a number of approaches being explored, and one of the more promising is the use of directed energy weapons. One of these is Thor, which uses high-energy microwaves fired in bursts over wide areas to counter incoming hostile drones. It doesn't do this by blasting the drones like a laser, but by frying the delicate electronics, causing the robotic aircraft to crash. Thor was set against multiple targets at the Chestnut test site, Kirtland Air Force Base, under realistic conditions. Using a gimbaled aiming system, it was able to track and engage the targets in nanoseconds across broad areas of the sky, disabling them with high-power microwave pulses. Costing $18 million, Thor is built into a 20-feet transport container that can fit inside a C-130 Hercules transport and can be set up by 2 soldiers in about 3 hours. In addition, it has a user-friendly interface that requires only minimal training.
Okay, they also got that Thor. They also got that Thor on a plane, up in the nose of the plane. Anyways, so those pagers, walkie-talkies, car batteries, laptops, solar panel equipment, which are batteries. That's what blew up, were the batteries that connected to it. Bunch of cell buildings that sold cell phones. All blew up. Guys on the ground said car battery. That was a big hint to me when I heard the car battery. Because all of a sudden now we don't just have walkie-talkies and pagers that were intercepted. We had car batteries and laptops and solar panel equipment and batteries that go to that. And, so basically what I'm getting at, they're lying to you. They didn't stick bombs in all of them. Yeah, some of them had bombs, I'm sure, little shape charges in some of them. That way it was a guarantee kill. Guarantee. But they had to trigger those devices somehow. And how did they trigger it? I'm going to tell you right now. They used cell towers or they used Thor. And they targeted individuals. Warned about that years ago. And they turned the juice up. And that causes mass heat. Just like all those people started running when the heat came, they couldn't take it, they had to run. Okay, well, if you're in a big crowd of people and all of a sudden this microwave is pointed at your crowd of people, everybody's got cell phones in their pockets. They're going to start heating up. You're going to start heating up. You're not going to realize why you're heating up unless it's super hot and you got to run like those guys. Now, if they do it slowly, just enough to trigger those bombs that they had hidden in those batteries, which I believe they may be in everybody's batteries. Everybody may have these little bomb-shaped charges in our phones, in all of our batteries. Or they just blow up like that. Now, I've seen pictures of them things blowing up. It put a hole through particle wood, a table made out of particle wood. Put a hole right through it. That's a shape charge. I've never seen a battery blow up that doesn't burn. Usually these batteries burn. So when you see a hole in somebody's chest or in a particle table or in the brick wall where somebody set their walkie-talkie down with the digital pad to punch in the pad, they set their walkie-talkie down and punched fucking a hole right through the brick. So if they're doing that, there's definitely some kind of shape charge inside the battery, because a regular battery is not going to blow a hole through concrete. If anything, it'll just burn really hot. We've seen lots of batteries burn, and that's what happens. Sometimes they pop, but a lot of times they just burn. And none of the videos I saw, those guys were burning. so, so, so obviously there's shape charge involved. Now, an agent of chaos wants to hide his skills, his weapon, wants to hide it from the world. He's going to plant shape charges in with what they're doing. So I believe they use these direct energy weapon, a microwave weapon, pointed it right at their targeted individuals, and they heated it up. And they took out 3,000 people. 3,000 people. Because they were all packed in a big old funeral. They were all together. I think that's why there were so many injured. They were just all packed together. Microwave weapon gets really hot. If you can't get away from it right away, yeah, you're going to have serious burns within your body. And if you got any metal in you, you can put a fly in a microwave, turn it on, that fly will fly around that microwave, no big deal. Now put a little speck of metal on that fly, and he's going to pop. He's going to pop instantly in that microwave. So if they had metal on them or in them, you know, like a metal hip or some kind of dental work, maybe you got all that metal in you, yeah, it's gonna mess you up really good. So I believe they use Thor. Why do I believe it? Because Israel hasn't told the truth yet. You guys remember this? I'm gonna go back in history real quick and show something, because where'd it go? I got my history here. I put some stuff in it, and of course now I can't find it. Hold on. Where'd you go, Netanyahu? Oh, here we go.
Rocket attacks into our cities and terror attacks on conversion sites along Beirut's International Airport.
Beirut International Airport. Remember that? That sound familiar? Okay, this is the UN Assembly.
Here's a picture.
2016.
2018.
2018. Okay, and he's holding up this paper right now. One of his cards.
Here's Beirut's International Airport. Here's the first missile site.
Kind of hard to see, huh? Hold on a second. I'm gonna get
on the water's edge, a few blocks away from the runway.
Few blocks away from the runway.
It's under.
Okay, can you see that? Site 1. That right there, where that is. That's a little dot right there. That's exactly where that Beirut bomb went off. Remember when those fireworks and all that huge explosion in Beirut that looked like a nuclear bomb went off? Well, I think it might have been a small nuke. But this is 2018. A few years before the bomb went off, okay? Before that accident. Right there. It's just site number 1, site number 2, site number 3. But right there, that's the very tip. Right where that explosion was. It's marked on this 2018 card Netanyahu brought to the UN Assembly and showed the world. Now, I'm not going to get into it because it's already been 30 minutes or so since I've been on here. But now, it took me a while to find that too. Now, hopefully you can see this good. Boom, did you see that? I saw it. That wasn't no accident, guys. You can see the bomb come in. Watch, here comes a different angle. Here we go. See it go right in. Boom, you see it again? Okay. So if that was hard to see, then let's try this one, side by side. You have to change the color spectrum. And of course, it's hard to see on this computer. I'm going to slow it down for you. Right here. Slow-mo. No. Ooh. Watch right here. You'll see it come in at an angle. Here it comes. I sure hope this shows up on camera. It looks like it's really hard to see on that camera. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. That's kind of... hard to see on that one. Maybe you can see it better on this one. You guys can find this yourself. I'm trying to get it on camera for y'all to see it. That's a little bit. Alright, that's hard to see too. So I think the best one for y'all to see is this one, because I saw it pretty clearly. Alright, watch it again. It comes right, it goes right in. Don't show it again. Don't show it again. Boom. Hopefully you saw that, okay? I don't want to get into too much of that. So, that was the explosion. They said it was an accident. But yet, in 2018, Netanyahu had that card up there at the UN Assembly showing the world targets for precision-guided bombs. And then what happens? Beirut explosion happens. So, once again, do we believe Israel, even though there's proof that they lie? Do we believe them? You know, I'm having trouble believing the guy myself. If you want to know what's really going on, this is what's really going on.
Many megacities that I'm seeing,
Oh, gosh, dang it.
They lie a lot.
Sorry, guys. I got this all mixed up for some reason. So, do I not have it on here? I can kind of have it right here.
Which is the map above shows.
This is what's really going on right here. Mega cities. They want to build mega cities and mega regions. They want to push everybody into these mega cities. They want to push them off the land, and they want us walled in, basically living in a cubicle in a damn mega city. And they've showed us through movies for years. Hunger Game, you know, the Maze Runner, all those movies were showing you. Judge Dredd, they were showing you the mega cities. And they're going to basically wall these mega cities off from the land. And they'll use probably digital probably like drones and cameras, and technology will definitely be what helps them wall off the cities. So it might not necessarily be a wall around it. It could be a river, some drones and cameras and stuff like that. But they are doing this. And in Israel, sorry, pause that, lady. In Israel, they have to prepare for the change that's coming in Israel. China wants their Silk Road to go through. That's a major hub right there. And they're having disputes right now on where the Muslim megacity will be. A lot of them want to be in that whole area from river to sea, or whatever they chant. They basically want that to be the megacity for the Muslims. And they want to run that whole corridor that Israel's in control over. Those canals and the land, and that's just a prime spot. And that's probably why God told them to conquer that area and kill everybody. And of course they didn't listen. Israel didn't listen, and they didn't do what God said. So now they're paying the consequences from that. Now I'm for Israel because they're our ally, and I've never seen anything that concerns me about Israel as far as taking over the world or anything. That's not them. The way Israel works is after World War II, America, we won the war and we actually own like Japan and North Korea or South Korea and Israel, all the places that we conquered, we pretty much own. So when Israel says, you're big Satan and we're little Satan, they're being serious about that because whoever's in control of America, whichever president's in control of America, actually has a run over Israel. They actually control Israel. Now, I'm sure no matter what, Israel is going to self-defense. So if they're trying to be taken out, they're going to try to self-defense. But when their big brother is trying to change the game on them and take them out of power in the Middle East by putting them in a war, chaos war, to lose their superiority over that area, when that actually happens, we're going to see one hell of a mess down there for a while. But it's all about those mega cities they want to build. It's all about these mega cities. I'm trying to put it on these maps, these mega city maps everybody's got without having to do it myself. But yeah, these mega cities, they got it all figured out. And all you got to do is go to the mega city maps and start looking at the corridors. What do you see there? Yeah, that's Ukraine and Belarus. So these are roads right here. Here's Israel right there. Now this map ain't showing it. I don't think she's showing it yet. But if you look at the UN Agenda 2050 megacity maps, megacity regions, and start looking them over and reading what they have planned for 2050, you'll see it's a total different world. It's a one world. They're going to keep a few cities worldwide. They're going to annihilate most of the population. They put it in stone to keep and maintain population at 500 million worldwide. Well, fuck, that's 7.2 or 8.2 billion people to die for their megacities. So I guess it's begun. I mean, World War III, that'll definitely take out a lot of people, especially if they start nuking cities and stuff. And they're taking out the old world, which is Russia, America, Britain, UK, all these countries that are a threat to future one world. They're eliminating them now so that they can get this one world. I'm sorry, guys. I thought I'd have some good visuals for you back here, but I picked the wrong mega city person here. But yeah, the UN, they drew it up. They got all the mega cities just waiting for us, all on a map, ready to be packed. So you live in a cubicle, you own nothing, and you're supposed to be happy eating bugs and who knows what. That's all a bunch of crap. God says to be plentiful and multiply and spread around the earth. So I believe in the Bible more than I believe in this global warming, this threat to Mother Earth and all that they're trying to say. That's what this weather, global warming is all about, is saving Mother Gaia. Why would we want to save Mother Gaia? We're here for us, for each of us to learn and to basically live, not be packed into a mega city, and so what they're trying to do is trying to change nature at the same time. So this one world, it's actually biblical. It really is. It goes into the Armageddon thing of the Bible. A one leader, a one military police, a one religion, a one RFID online currency. These are all things that they're trying to do right now for this coming one world. Once they get us all under this digital money, well, then they can track us. And then just, all they got to do is put a tracking on, some way of putting us into the computer. It shows the computer where we are at all times so that they can digitally track our footprint, literally, so that the computer knows exactly where you are, where you're gone, what you've done, everything about you. That's their goal for us. And that's what the RFID will do with the online currency at the same time. Will give us a digital footprint into the computer. So instead of the computer trying to put us into instead of the computer trying to put us into the computer, all right, and that's what this all capital name is all about too. That's not even really you. We're not supposed to have all capital letters. That's your digital you. That's somebody you say is you. That's not really you. Well, they're going to do that with us into the computer so that their Sims world that's copying the outside world can literally copy it by knowing where each one of us are, other than the cameras and all that stuff. They're going to use these tracking devices so the computer knows where you are and can put you in there. Just like if you download an app, TikTok and whatever, to see where your friends are, well, you've already begun what I just said. So part of what's going on in the Middle East right now is a change of guard, change of power, and that's going on all over the world, not just the Middle East. That's all over the world. Putin has controlled opposition to the New World Order. They control him. They put him there. He's doing exactly what Biden's doing in America. They're destroying from within. That's why they put their puppets into power in foreign countries so that they can literally control this country from within and destroy it. So this is a tactic of Rome, and it goes way back. If you study war tactics. So let's say I'm Rome and I want to take England. Okay. Let's say I want to take England because I'm Rome and I'm going back in time. So what I would do is I would put all my money in a bunch of people's hands. Because I'm Rome, I would use black Jesuits. I'd give them a bunch of gold and a bunch of money and power. And I'd start sending them over to England. And I'd start taking over all, okay, let's say anybody that has a following or any group that controls the masses. I would take the leadership so I can control the group. Or I would take the city and be the mayor so I can control the population. And after I've taken every leadership position in the country, I'd eventually take the crown. I'd be a king. I'd put my puppet in as a king. And then my puppet would do what I want him to do. Because remember, I'm Rome, and my puppet now wearing a crown in the name of England. And I need to take out another enemy of mine, like France. So I'd say, okay, England, France is now your enemy. They've attacked us. And I'd have some kind of false flag event, make all the people listen to all my influencers that I put in everywhere, all my puppet influences I put in, and then my puppet king or queen would regurgitate everything I tell them to do, basically being I'm Rome and I'm telling England to attack France. So boom, now I just killed two of my enemies. Let's say France and England was my enemy because I'm Rome, and I just took out two birds in one shot. Okay. And I did it from within without having to raise an army and go over there and attack and have all that bloodshed and everybody mad at me in Rome. You know, all my people wouldn't want my people all mad at me because I decided to take over a country and it was it was major deaths and stuff, and the people would get mad and start uprising in my country in Rome. And well, I don't have none of that because I just used England to go over there and do all my dirty work and take out France. You see how this works? Killing two birds in one stone? That's what the New World Order does. They take your leadership. They They take any leadership that controls the masses, and from there they keep using their influences and money and whatever it takes to buy off all the people they can to get their agenda. You bring in your agents of chaos to do any damage that you need done, so that you can use that for a reason to attack everybody or to get your agenda. It's your controlled outcome. You already planned what you're going to do, so you already knew what the outcome would be, but you have to make it happen. Well, in Russia, that's what's going on right now. Putin is destroying Russia from within. That's a strong country. The only way to take it out, a war really isn't the option, even though Ukraine's doing really well for such a small country. That's our weapons, of course. What are they doing in Ukraine right now? What really stands out and what happened? I'll tell you what stands out. That's a Christian stronghold nation that goes way back in the medieval days. That was a Christian stronghold. The Orthodox and the Catholics, they split off a long time ago, but that was a stronghold of the Christian population that kept the Muslims from invading those northern countries. So they built thousands and thousands of old world castles and stuff all over Ukraine, all over Crimea. Those are totally being annihilated, along with the Christian population on Ukraine's side and on Russia's side. If you know anything about the New World Order, they can't have Christians in their New World Order, because Christians know what the Bible says about a one leader, a world leader, a one world currency, a one world army. The Bible warns us of all that stuff. So Christians are the target. Now, communism? Oh, communism, no problem. They're already under a one leader. Putin controls the whole population. He's been in control since he took presidency. Just like in the Muslim world, they have a leader. They do whatever the leader says, just like in India, just like in China. Okay, they're already under a one leader, so that's not a problem. Democracy, the Western alliances are actually the problem. And what's going on in the Western alliances everywhere? We got massive population, massive immigrants being shipped into all these countries. And this is the oldest tactic. I just told you about the Jesuits. Let's say I'm Rome and I wanted to take Europe. I would take the crown eventually, but I would send in lots of masses of people. Now, this kind of happened during the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln, he didn't know really, he was having trouble because the New World Order was controlling both sides of the Civil War. And he didn't understand what was going on until he got a letter from one of the remaining founding fathers. Which one was it? Was it Benjamin Franklin or Thomas? Anyways, one of the remaining fathers was still alive during Abraham Lincoln's Civil War, and they caught wind that the Jesuits were sending over thousands and thousands of Jesuits to stir up the black population. At the same time, they were importing mass amounts of migrants into America. They were funding all these gangs, like the gangs of New York and stuff. They're funding all these gangs to do their dirty work. And in their dirty work, it was about chaos. They wanted to get the people all rallied up into chaos, all wrapped up into a huge frenzy so that they could get their agenda. I was trying to put it on a map. I don't know why there's no map popping up. There. Here's one of the maps. I don't know. Can you see it very good? Kind of. Front Range, Great Lakes. These are all the mega city regions that they want to shove us into. So I'm going to close this up, but you have to use critical thinking to understand and study to understand what's going on. The New World Order is building a one world. They're destroying the old world to build their new world. They put it in stone in every language to keep and maintain population at 500 million worldwide in these mega cities is what's coming. That means 8.2 billion of us are not going to win this lottery. So he who can survive sees the new world. You got to be really smart. And back to Lebanon, all those pagers and walkie-talkies and bombs that blew up, those were triggered by a cell tower, by a microwave weapon, whether it was a cell tower itself. And believe me, we really think those cell towers are weaponized. You look at the gauge wire that goes into them, that shit's as thick as my arm going up into those tin cans. And well, if you know anything about a microwave weapon, if you take a microwave apart, you can turn it into a weapon by taking a magnetron, sticking a tin can on it, and everywhere you point that tin can, it shoots your microwaves out. So they either used Thor, a microwave weapon, from the air, or they set it up somewhere around where they knew all them people were going to be, all the Hezbollah was going to be, and they used it. That don't make sense. Cell towers make sense because they can target an individual, they can target a group, they can target a whole city, a whole state, a whole country, a whole nation, the whole world with cell towers. They can turn up the juice and use them. Something got all those batteries really hot and caused them to blow up. Car batteries, walkie-talkie batteries, pagers got really hot and they blew up. Some of them had shape charges in them already. And I believe that's what the pagers and walkie-talkies that they gave all their Hezbollah soldiers, I believe a lot of those had shape charges. They had to have a diversion at the same time. Everything happens at the same time. So you cannot pinpoint and say, oh, it was a microwave weapon, because you got actual explosions on the ground. You got actual shape charges that went off. So it's real confusing to people. They'll never see the real picture. You got to look past. There's always a story within the story is what I'm trying to say. And this is how the New World Order actually talk to each other. They'll make a movie and there'll be a story within that story, just like a book. They'll make a book and they'll write a book and there'll be a story within that story. And you have to be able to decipher it. Symbols, they like to use symbols and stuff like that. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys, because YouTube seems to be hiding me. That's why I haven't really got too deep into this right now, because I'm looking at my numbers. I sat here for an hour and not one person came in here. So that tells me YouTube doesn't want me out there saying a fucking thing. I need you guys to like, subscribe, come find me, and stop drinking the Kool-Aid. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, people. Stop drinking the New World Order Kool-Aid. Stop buying what the news is telling you, because the news is controlled by them. They are called New World Order youth influencers. Okay, guys? So just study. Study. That's the biggest one. Study. And know that what happened in Lebanon could happen to everybody. And we all got cell phones in our pockets. So there's either shape charges inside these batteries, okay, by their official story they're trying to say that these blew up, got warm and blew up. So there's either actually shape charge in there, okay, and everything, even car batteries, or they actually blow up, which we know they do, and it's caused by a microwave. So either buy the official story or see the bigger picture is what I'm trying to get at. And I see the bigger picture. It's pretty fucking obvious. Pretty obvious. Pagers, walkie-talkies, cell phones, laptops, car batteries, solar panel charging units with the batteries. Am I missing probably tablets too? All the batteries blew up. Now, that's a lot of different kinds of batteries. Use your thinking. Use your thinking. And don't believe the New World Order. Stop buying their bullshit, because they want a one world. They want this mega city. Now, this mega city right here, go study that too. That's called UN Agenda 2050. Mega cities, mega sanctuary cities, and mega regions. That's how they want our future to be, guys. This is Johnny Cage, and this is the real Mortal Kombat. Once again, build me up, guys. Don't let YouTube hide me, and help me out if you want. If you don't want me to, you just want me to go bye-bye, don't worry about it. But if you want to see more, you want me to explain more, believe me, I got so much more to show you. I preempted my Johnny Cage lives. I pushed it out sooner than I was ready to do it. That's why I'm sitting here kind of fumble fucking. But I thought this was important enough that I need to say some more, just like I did in 2020. I gotta get it out. I gotta let you guys know there's more going on than the official story, and this is the main thing they want to do. They want a one world. They want a one world currency, a one world RFID online currency. Sorry, they want a one world religion. They want a one world military police so that no nation people could ever challenge them ever again in history. That means it becomes a prison once they get this new world order. A one world. It Armageddon, just like the Bible warned of. And most importantly, they want a one leader. Communism's already under a one leader, so those people are going to be easy to deal with. Whoever is controlling them controls them. They can't say shit. Now, Americans, we are heavily armed. We are Christians. We understand what the Bible warned us of, and we're ready for it. So I'm going to shut up and say goodbye. This is Johnny Cage, and this is the real Mortal Kombat. And yes, I am the real Johnny Cage. My real name is Jonathan Luke Cage. Have a good day. Like, subscribe, help me build, be my people. Let's do this.